Hello and welcome back to the Dream Printing Podcast. I'm your host, Polly Payne. I am the CEO and founder of Horacio Printing and also the creator of Print School. And today on this episode, I'm going to go over 10 incredible ways to sell your planner or journal from a seven-figure CEO. So I've grown my business over the last 10 years, selling in all sorts of ways. So I'm going to go over 10 ways that you can sell your product and make revenue. And then I'm also going to share my favorite ways to sell, because there's some ways that you can sell your product, but I've personally I've tested all these ways, and there's some ways that are great and some ways have a lot of cons. And so I'm going to go over my favorite ways and the pros and cons, and my least favorite ways and the pros and cons. So let's dive in. Okay, before we dive into the 10 ways, I want to give you the opportunity to join me for a very special 5-day challenge. It's called the Print Your Thing Challenge, where I go over all the things when it comes to printing a luxury paper product. We're not talking about print on demand or, something rinky-dink. We're talking about paper snob luxury paper products, how to get them made well. So we go over ideation, design, selling, all the things, timeline, costs. It is an incredible challenge. You are invited. You don't have to finish it in 5 days. You can binge watch it in one day. You can take your time. It's totally up to you. If you want to find out more, go to dreamprinting.co/challenge and check it out. I would love to see you there. It's very interactive. We will be hanging out together. I cannot wait. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, I would love to go over the 10 ways you can sell your planner or journal. So if you're taking notes, grab a piece of paper, put the numbers 1 through 10. We're going to go through them together. The first way you can sell a planner or journal, this is one of my favorite ways, and it's a way that a lot of my print school students end up making their dream come true, and that is through a Kickstarter. If you're not familiar with Kickstarter, here's the logo, here's the website, you can go check it out. So Kickstarters are a way of crowdfunding, but it's not crowdfunding in the way of like a GoFundMe or something like that, where you're, raising money. Maybe you've given to someone, maybe there's a horrific accident. And so we're giving money to that family, like a meal train and supporting them or something like that. It's not like that at all. A Kickstarter is a way to kickstart a dream or a product specifically, or a movement. And so what you do is you pledge to get a reward. So it's basically a pre-order campaign where you have a set time to raise the money to create the product, and then you offer the people who back your product a specific reward. So if you pledge $50 to my campaign, you're going to get my first edition of my planner first with some sort of reward. When I was starting my business, I did self-funded my first year, and my second year I did a Kickstarter, and I was able to raise over $20,000 to fund my 2016 planner, which was super fun. And so now I've taught my students how to do this. The reason I really like this way is you don't actually have to spend your own money to get your product printed in bulk. Yay! So here's a couple of my students that have printed through Kickstarter, and you can find out more about these students on our alumni page at dreamprinting.co/alumni. You can actually explore their stories and learn more about them. But it's a great way to get it started. There is a con, and that is it's all or nothing. So you have this amount of time to raise the money. And so I teach my students how to set up a really incredible campaign, how to make it really compelling, how to maximize your exposure in order to get enough traffic to your campaign during launch time. And really the goal of the Kickstarter is just to kickstart it. It's just to get that first seed of money, to get that first run printed, and to, get it going. It's not to sell all your planners for that year. It's just the Kickstarter. It's just that first chunk of money to get your company off the ground, which is fantastic. Some companies choose to do Kickstarters indefinitely. They keep going and they do Kickstarters every year, every summer to launch their next planner. I used to watch watch I think it was the Passion Planner do that every summer. It is a great way to get started. I don't do Kickstarters anymore. I've moved into self-funding my products, and a lot of my students choose to do that the second and third year. You basically save some of your profit, and that is the seed for your next inventory purchase. So that is the first way, Kickstarter. If you want to learn more about that, take the challenge that I shared about earlier. There is a link below as well. The second way that you can sell your planner or journal, and I will say this is my favorite way, just my number one favorite way. It's direct to consumer on your own website. I'm not a huge fan of Etsy. I'm not a huge fan of Amazon. We'll get into that later, but I really like selling on your own website. And when it comes to a website, I really believe the gold standard is Shopify. It's an all-in platform, which anytime you can get all in with tech, it's the best. You can also process your shipping and labels through Shopify. I love that they have so many automations to support you. They are number one when it comes to the apps that you can connect with. So whenever an app is coming out, they're going to work on their Shopify API first. So I'm a huge fan of Shopify. I started out my business on Squarespace and actually moved over to Shopify, and that was amazing, because it's just better. It's just simply better. I don't know how to explain it. You know, some people say that creating a Squarespace website is easier, and they're not wrong. Sometimes building out something on Squarespace can feel easier. I helped out my brother building his website, and it was like, oh, let's do Squarespace. This is easier. But in terms of e-commerce and what you're able to do for a product-based business, Shopify is the gold standard. Now, what's really nice about selling direct to your customer on Shopify is you're able to get their data. So, if someone buys a product on your website, like if someone goes to HoracioPrinting.com and purchases a product, thank you, I'm able to get your email, I'm able to get your information and send you remarketing information. I'd be able to send you, another product you might enjoy. Or next year when it's time to order that product again, I can send you an email because I have your information. Other platforms, specifically Amazon, do not allow you to get the information from your buyer, which really makes it hard to grow your pool. Because here's the thing about starting a business. It's one thing to start a business. It's quite another thing to stay in business, 3 years later, 4 years later, 10 years later. I started mine back in 2014. And one of the reasons I'm still in business is because I've created a buyer pool. I've nurtured that buyer pool, and I've been able to re-message to them and turn them into raving fans and have them come back and shop again. That's really what makes a business thrive. It's an expensive endeavor to continue to always have to find new customers. The way you are successful is you need returning customers. And so Shopify and selling direct to consumer makes that possible. So that's number 2. And those, I would say 1 and 2 are definitely my favorite. Let's go down the list. Number 3, if you're taking notes, is through wholesaling or, selling to boutiques. What does that look like? So selling to your local gift shops, bookstores, depending on your product, you could sell to a bridal boutique or a craft shop or something like that. And there's a couple ways to do that. You can literally wholesale it. So you sell it to them typically at half of the retail price. And then you can also do consignment. I'm not a huge fan of consignment because you're kind of just waiting for them to sell it. I'd much rather just cleanly sell it. One of the ways to do that, which is really fantastic, is Faire.com. Horacio Printing, all of our products are currently on Faire.com. So we're wholesaling as well and selling to boutiques around the world and around the world now, which is insane. But that's a great platform to do it. You can also do it directly on your Shopify website, which is great. So wholesale is great to get you into new markets, to move inventory, to, get yourself out there. But in terms of, if I could compare number 2, which is direct to consumer on your own website, versus 3, wholesaling, direct to consumer, you're going to make so much more profit, right? You really lose a lot of your profit with wholesale. So you have to be really strategic with how you approach wholesale. You have to make sure your margins are right, your costs are right. And when you're first starting out as a business, you're not able to buy as big of bulk to get that really low cost per unit. And so it makes wholesaling a little more difficult. I would say wholesaling is a great strategy to employ maybe year 2 or year 3. Although we have had lots of print school students who have already dove into wholesaling like right at the get-go, which is amazing. People come to them, hey, I want this in my store. Hey, I want this in my boutique. We just we have an interview actually with Kate Sheets, the founder of Printing, and she talks about, wholesaling right off the bat, which is amazing. Follow every open door, which is, do it. But in terms of a strategy or something to put your energy behind, when you are a solopreneur starting out, I think wholesaling is something year 2, year 3 to expand your reach. And you lose that profit, right? So number 2 is going to make you more profit. Number 3 is great. You just need, that exposure, and you need scale. Number 4 is Amazon and other online marketplaces. So the 4th way you can sell your journal or planner is like through an Etsy or through Amazon, which requires you to have an EIN typically, which is your employee identification number. Specifically, that's more for Amazon. I think with Etsy, you can sell just off your social security number. But with an Amazon storefront, you will need a registered business. And one of the things to note about Amazon, as I mentioned earlier, is you won't get that consumer data. And that's really important to sustain your business year over year. Obviously, everyone loves Prime. Everyone loves that Prime shipping. But you do need to know that with Amazon, you lose about a 30% cut. So if you're selling something on Amazon, I'm going to use an easy number like $10, then Amazon's going to take $3 from you. So you'll have to minus those $3, minus whatever you paid for it, and whatever is left over, that's what you get, and then you'll pay taxes on that. So that's something that's a little stinky about Amazon and working with them, is they are going to take a big cut. The other thing with Amazon is they do not act as a storage facility. Amazon does not want to store your stuff. And if you plan to ship all your stuff to Amazon, just keep it in the warehouse until it sells, they are going to start adding like compounding interest on your storage fees. They do not want stale inventory. So with Amazon, you have to be very strategic in the type of warehouse you have and how often you are replenishing that inventory. You're going to want to just test it out and send some at a time. So that's my biggest tip with Amazon. I'm not saying not to do it. It can definitely expand your reach. There are pros to using Amazon. As you know, you shop on Amazon, but you are still very much in charge of bringing the traffic to you, to your listing when starting out. You can't expect people just to randomly find your stuff when you're a brand new shop on Amazon. That takes time. Number 5 is doing collaborations with subscription boxes and other things like that. So that was a big catalyst for me in my growth. I think it was my 2nd year. I had a big partnership with Faithbox, which was a subscription box company. They had a tiny box that they shipped out. My planner actually didn't fit in the box, so I had to quickly resize the planner. That was my first time printing overseas. I was so nervous about it, but I knew I had to do that, not only to elevate the product, but then to get the price per unit that I needed. I was able to sell 10,000 planners to that subscription company, and that really opened the doors to new people. So those collaborations, while you might not make as much because it is more of like a wholesale pricing or even less than wholesale pricing, it is incredible to get that exposure and to get your product. Like, don't underestimate getting your product in the hands of people that would typically buy something of yours, even in the spirit of generosity and gift giving. So that's a huge one. So you have to, it is difficult, and subscription box companies don't typically, especially the big ones, they do not pay anywhere near retail, anywhere near wholesale. I had a RFP come, a request for proposal, from a big name retailer that has a subscription box, and they offered to pay me 5% of the retail price. So let's say I sold something for $100, they wanted to pay me $5. So really, a lot of times these subscription box companies, like, you're lucky just to cover your costs, and it's more of a marketing tool, which in that case, if you can cover your costs, it is a marketing tool, and I would probably do it just because of that that exposure you're going to get. It's worth it. That is number 5. So let's go back and recap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got Kickstarter crowdfunding is the first one. Direct to consumer website, typically Shopify. Number 3 is wholesaling boutiques. Number 4 is Amazon Marketplace. And number 5 is subscription boxes and collaborations. Okay, so number 6, let's get into 6 through 10. Number 6 is through strategically aligned conferences or pop-ups. Sometimes there's a holiday market that would be perfect for your product, or a conference that would make a lot of sense and the people are all going to attend that. I have an incredible student. Her name is Taylor, and she made this beautiful real estate planner. I've added stickers to it. It's the Mompreneur Planner. So stunning. She sold out of her 2025 planner, and she now is selling her 2026 planner. And she goes to real estate conferences and sells her planner. And that's amazing. And I love that for her. I've had a lot of success with conferences. I will say my most successful conferences have aligned with conferences I was able to speak at. Whenever you're able to share the heart of your product in any platform, that's really where I find the more success and connection with your customer. I've seen so many people go, oh, a planner, I always buy one, I never use it, But when you can really get to the heart of the planner, why you made it, why you created that journal, why did you create that devotional, who is it for, how does it help them? When you get into the heart of your product and you're able to share your heart, this business becomes more of a ministry. It becomes more impactful, because that's the whole point of it. The whole point isn't just to sell stuff. The point of it is to make a difference in this world with the time that you have in this world. And so that would be one of my funnest, I'm not sure if that's even a word, ways of selling. It is more draining, it is more intense, but it is the most impactful. I've had a lot of students go to markets, and that's their favorite way to sell because they're actually able to interact with their customer. It reignites them to see their customer in the place that they are and the way that they're able to help them or pray for them. And anyway, so that's a beautiful way to do it. Creating your little booth or just being able to speak at the conference, offering your product as a conference gift to the speakers or the green room, or even partnerships. I've done some partnerships with churches, which that gets me into number 7. Number 7 is corporate gifting, which is basically where businesses buy in bulk for their clients or employees. I'm also going to lump in conference gifting, because I have worked with multiple conferences where our product has been the conference gift. Typically, you go to these bigger conferences and everyone gets something, they pass it out, and so I've been able to take my planner, add a new cover to it, and that becomes the gift, or create a custom journal for that conference gift. That does typically take a lot of time and planning. It's not something quick. Luxury paper products are not made overnight. They are not a print on demand thing. It is a labor of love that takes some time, heads up. And so we've done that for a few years, and that's been an incredible way, once again, to get your product into multiple hands, into your target audience's hands, and create more of a grassroots campaign. So that is number 7, corporate gifting or conference gifting. Number 8 is a fun one. It's affiliate and influencer partnerships, which is a great way of leveraging communities that you want to get in. Imagine, these influencers have a country club membership to a pool of people that you don't have the key card for. You're not a member, you haven't paid the dues. And so being able to get access into those clubs, into those pools of people, is a great way to increase exposure. The thing about running a business is you have to have exposure. You cannot just create a product and then go bury it in your backyard and expect for people to find it. So leveraging influencers and partnerships is a great way to get going. One of the ways I do this is through just honor gifting. I honor and gift people my products all the time for free with no strings attached, which is very, very, not what everyone else does. That's what I do. And then I also offer people the ability to become an affiliate. And if you want to join the Horacio Printing affiliate team, I would love to have you. You just go to HoracioPrinting.com, scroll all the way to the bottom. You'll find a little affiliate link in our footer of the website, and you can apply. I love using the company called Collab. We used to call it Collab, and then we realized that was just our Southern coming out. It's actually just Collab. Anyways, that's an inside joke at my company. And it is powered by Shopify, which makes it super easy, super clean. So feel free to come be an affiliate for Horacio Printing and see how it's done. So that's a great way to do it. And then let's get into the last two. Are you excited? The last two are some of my favorites as well. Number 9 is through email marketing and SMS marketing. So one of my two biggest revenue drivers are email marketing and SMS marketing. Why? Why didn't I say Instagram? Why didn't I say YouTube? Why didn't I say any of these things? Email and Instagram are my two biggest revenue drivers for a product-based business. I use Kit for email and I use Postscript for SMS. I love both of these platforms, and I know Kit's been giving some people some trouble, but I really enjoy Kit. I love Kit. I'll never leave. I'll never leave you. I'm not sponsored by Kit at all. And then I really love Postscript. So the thing I love about these two platforms is you own the audience. You don't have to wait for some algorithm to show your content to them. You own the list. That's your list. People opted in. So you get to show them your messaging. Email is fantastic. SMS is even better because people can't avoid a text. Like, they're going to see it. Email could put you in spam. Think people can miss. People are flooded with emails. So SMS is an even better driver. There's more dollars per sign up than email, but both are important. Both are super important. And everything else that you do is tertiary. Like, social media, YouTube, all these other things, ads, they're all trying to get you, ideally, to your email list and to your SMS list. That's the goal. Yes, I do all the other things. I do Instagram, I do YouTube, I do all those things, but the goal is to get on the email list and the SMS list so that we can make a purchase and then we can continue that cycle. That is the funnel of a product-based business. That is the bread and butter for my launches, which is so critical to have people on your SMS list. That's one of the reasons I lock my website on launch day. And if you want to purchase on launch day, you actually have to join my SMS list. So it's a great list builder tool for me. And it creates this really beautiful exclusive group where I get to shower and love on my Horacio Printing family in a deeper way. And I teach, by the way, how am I going to do this? I teach all of this inside of Launch School. I love marketing. My background is in sales and marketing. Before I even started my company, I worked at a couple of different ad tech companies in New York. I was a senior sales director, PR and communications major, and this is my thing. I love marketing and branding. And so when I created Print School, which is my signature program of how to take your idea out of your head and into your hands, create a luxury paper product, I knew I had to give people the tools to sell it, because it's one thing to make it, it's quite another to sell it. And so I wanted to give everyone the tools to create a Kickstarter, to create the assets you need for a launch, to create your email marketing, to create your SMS marketing, to do your influencer marketing, to do your affiliate marketing, to get yourself on Amazon, to figure out wholesale, like to do all that stuff and then to see it through. So that's why I made Launch School, and it is a free bonus that comes with Print School. So when you sign up for Print School, you get Launch School. You get both of them. You get 2 years of access to both programs, which is an incredible deal. Much longer than many other programs out there. So that's what I teach. If you want to learn more, you can actually go to dreamprinting.co and check out everything about Print School, about Launch School, and ask any questions you have there. Let's do number 10, the final way to sell your paper product, which is a really fun way some people do. Not everybody does, but one way to do it is to sell your paper product in tandem with a course or community. So there are people, let's say you have a prayer group, and it's the prayer patio. Let's just make that up. you have the prayer patio group, which is this group that meets once a month. You have a Facebook group, etc. What if with that course, they got the prayer patio journal, and when they signed up, they get both. There's a lot of people that already have those online subscription communities or a course. You could create that paper product to be the gift you get whenever you sign up for the program, for the VIP group, or it could be a way that your paper product could actually pull people into the course. I've seen that a lot. Kelly Roach does this a lot with her books. She creates a book, and then all throughout the book, she's pitching her high ticket offers. So her book is selling her courses, if that makes sense. Her product is selling that. So those are the 10 ways, and you can pick and choose which one makes the most sense for you. I've shared my favorites are number 2, which is direct to consumer, Shopify, email marketing, and SMS number 9. I really love all of them. The only ones I don't love so much is number 3 and number 4. Although I am actively doing number 3. It's not that I don't love it. It's just in terms of you only have so much energy as a business owner. Where are you going to spend it? Those are the 2 places I don't spend it as much currently in my season of owning a business. So those are the places I am not off to the races, but everywhere else we are off to the races. So I hope that helps. If you have any other questions you would love for me to explain or teach about on the Dream Printing podcast, I would love to hear it. We have so many incredible interviews coming up soon on the show with people who have launched their paper product brands and are making a difference in this world. And I just want to say, you can be next. You can actually do this. And I would love to walk you through the process. You can go to dreamprinting.co to learn more about Print School. It is an application-based program. So I get to read your application, and I would love to just connect with you in that way. If you're wanting to kick the tires and take this a little bit further, and maybe you don't know what you want to create yet. If you don't know what you want to create yet, the 5-day challenge is 100% for you. You can go to dreamprinting.co/challenge and take the challenge. We can interact. You can ask questions. It's very interactive. And I hope that this episode has blessed you and taught you something. I want to know, of the 10, which one is your favorite? Which one seems like the one you would like to try first? Comment that below. And make sure you subscribe to this channel. I have some more episodes for you if you want to keep going on the Dream Printing podcast.